Welcome to all of you out there, dear astrology friends. This is the horoscope, a very quick horoscope to have a look at the new moon in Aquarius. Around at about the 9th and the 10th of February, we're going to have the sun and the moon close to each other, which is called a conjunction, around 20 degrees of Aquarius. And that's the new moon in Aquarius. So what is this all about? And I'm going to have a look very quickly for the 12 signs in what area of life we're going to feel that. Wow, another new moon with a lot of revolutionary energy. I really like this new moon. Again, these are general horoscopes, of course. So if you've got like planets around 20 degrees of Aquarius, 20 degrees of Leo, 20 degrees of Taurus, 20 degrees of Scorpio, you're going to feel this tremendously. But it's an energy to describe in the collective that is all about freedom, that is all about freeing yourself up, that is all about individuality, that is all about, I want to get out of the boredom, I want to get out of a rut, I want to put a new log on the fire, I want to do, and especially because this new moon in Aquarius, you could say the modern ruler of Aquarius is Uranus, it's squaring up to that Uranus. So it's like a double whammy of Uranian Aquarian energy. And when that happens in the sky, again, this is energy. You don't have to go on the Uranian ride, but I would strongly invite you to go on that Uranian ride. And as I explained in the February horoscopes, the mixture of all this energy together with a lot of Plutonian energy in February gives the ingredients of a bit of a revolution going on in all of us. So we all have an area in our lives that we want something to revolutionary happen. What do I mean by revolutionary? It's because it's been bottled up way too long. You know, we have all these experiences. We all go through them that we kind of bottle up and we think that it's going to go away. And then we've got like those Uranus energies coming up and it's like no longer possible to suppress all that energy and it kind of bursts out. And so sometimes people would think that's a bad thing, but actually it's not, because it frees the energy up. It clears the energy. And of course, Uranus, we have to say it as it is a bit of a planet that says it's my way or the highway. So it can burn bridges for sure. But if you know that it is coming, you can do it in a more grounded way. So with the feet on the ground and with a little bit of temperance, so to speak. And the more you ground it, the better it can establish itself. I mean, the newness, because let's face it, Uranus is about novelty. Uranus is about non-conventional energy. It is, you know, whether you apply it in a job, a Uranus job, for instance, an Aquarian Uranus job is the job that I'm doing. For instance, astrology, a lot of astrologers, not all of them, have very strong Uranian energy because it's about insight and it's about like lightning. And there is like this instinctive information, knowledge, what we call knowledge. And because you know, it happens, right? Because you know that it is how it is. It's such a strong energy, you know. Aquarius is an air sign, so it's about the mind as well. So when you apply it in a job, for instance, or when you apply it in a situation of a job, it's also a radical sign, a bit assigned to the extreme. Although you could say, oh, Aquarius is fixed. Yes, to a certain extent. But when it's had it, it's done with it. And it can be, of course, in a negative way, the rebel, right? In a positive way. So when it's more, the ancient ruler of Aquarius is Saturn, which is more about within the logical boundaries, doing something new, if you can do that, that is also very good, being innovative for the collective. And of course, we want to go for that. We don't want to cause all disruption all over and being like feeling very unsafe. That's the downside of Uranus, you know. But sometimes we've got to do that, because otherwise we are always going to be in the same old, same old. So, yes, on a level of job, it could be a Uranian job is a job that is not really common, that it's not a 9-to-5 job. That would be a Saturnial job. So a Uranian relationship, for instance, is Uranus represents also the 11th house of friends. So that could be that friendship is very important in a relationship, or a friend that is becoming a lover. That is very Uranian, kind of Aquarian-like. But what it surely is a non-conventional relationship. There could be some things that are going on, and especially with all that Pluto, which is also about a taboo, that relationships are getting formed here where there is some sort of a taboo considered with it, or a social kind of, you could say, blockage that need to be breaking open. That needs to be getting it open. Anyway, and so very Uranian relationships, for instance, are relationships where there is a big age difference, or relationships with someone that, you know, a lot of people are going to start new relationships with this new moon square Uranus, and it's going to be never as they have experienced, because it's Uranus, because it's new, it's novelty. It's unusual. So whatever you think is unusual, maybe for you unusual is someone from a different cultural background, or someone that is that you can't see a lot, right? Because of their profession, whatever. In everything that we do and everything that we touch, there is this sort of energy of I want to break free. Exactly. It's that song. That is the song of the new moon. I want to break free. And for some people, this is going to be a blessing, a blessing. So many people are now struggling with years and years and years of patterns that have been so wrong for them. When this comes along, it can be the time when they say, yeah, I break up with this person, or I break up with this job, or I break up with this kind of objective or goal for the future that I had. I'm just going to throw it away. You know, it's a good time for that. Of course, it's going to have consequences, because after this new moon, directly we've got like Mars approaching Pluto and Venus approaching Pluto. So it means that we're going to have to do things that are going to change our worlds in a transformative way. Nothing wrong about that. But if you don't want that, you don't have to take the jump. You can just say, I'm going to let this Uranian vibe pass and do nothing. I mean, it's our choice. It's our choice, for sure. For a part, you could say. So what are you going to do? I hope you're going to go on the Uranian ride, but also know, if you're going to do that, going on to the Uranian ride, your life is never going to be the same again. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because Uranus is also it's the marriage wrecker. It's the, I remember but it's a wrecker, it's that old patterns that are not good for you. It's not going to take something away that is still very good for you and that is still needed for your development. Not at all. And especially with this combination of Pluto. I remember when I had a very big Uranian transit, to this extent, like to the sun and the moon, like a bit this configuration, what this configuration is all about. I quit with my old job. It was in the area of home and work. So I quit with the old job, which was in the corporate world, which was like totally different of what I'm doing now. It demanded a lot of courage courage and a lot of authenticity and realness and honesty. So if you want to follow that, you're going to be rewarded for sure. But you need grounding. You need grounding and feeling safe to do that. So if you want to jump just because you want to jump, it's the rebel. I would not recommend doing it. If you want to jump and you know that you are grounded in yourself and you know your value, I would say do it. You know, when I did that jump, so to speak, and then when you could say like 1 year after that jump, I said to myself, why didn't I do that 10 years before, right? So that is the typical energy that we are in. It's like taking that leap of faith, but you can only do that when you feel safe within yourself, right? It's not safety outside of you. It's safety inside of you. And it's like no one can take that away from you. So also with this energy of Venus and Mars with Pluto, and it's going to be a lot about relationships. So a lot of breakups are going to happen for sure. But don't, if you say, oh, but my relationship is fairly good, you don't have to be scared at all. But if people are saying like, yeah, I've been working on it for so many years and I want it to end, well, use this energy because it's going to make it easier for you. And the same for a job or for a project that you don't want to do anymore or whatnot. It's the perfect time to cut cords there. But again, know that there's going to be consequences, you know, and that is so often that also in my readings, people come to me and I must say, I have a lot of respect for my clients because they are very courageous people. But sometimes, and then it absolutely doesn't work, people want to have changes without any changes making in their world. So it's so paradoxical and it's never going to happen. You know, they say like, oh yeah, I want to have Airbnb and I want to go somewhere else and I want to quit my 9-to-5 job. And oh yeah, I would love to do that. And they complain and complain and complain and complain and they never do something. It's never going to work. It's never going to work. They are not the people that have to jump because if they're going to, it's that other job is also going to be something. Right? It is like this huge shift that you're going to make from the inside. The sun square Uranus, the moon square Uranus. It's about authenticity. It's about doing the real stuff. It's about doing you. That is the most liberating thing. And yes, you have to know the consequences that some people will not like it. You know, I remember that when I did the shift, you know, from the corporate world, the economist that I was, the corporate world to the astrologer, there was not, and you know what? With Uranus, you don't need anyone that backs you up. You don't need anyone. You need one person, and that is you. And of course, it's an extra. If you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a sister, a friend that backs you up. It's fantastic. But with this Uranus, don't expect it. You know, the criticism that I got, you can't even imagine the criticism that I faced with friends, family, you know, people very close to me that said, what the heck are you going to do? You're in the midst of a renovation. You are in financial at your lowest point and you're going to become an astrologer. That is this energy. But you have to really know it for yourself that you're going to be, I'm going to do it. And I don't care if it's going to work or not. I'm going to do it anyways. If you have that feeling, you know, the power that you have. Oh my goodness. And now, of course, they all, oh yeah. Now I know who they are. You know, I lost a lot of friends there and a lot of colleagues and whatnot, but I never ever regretted it because they weren't the right ones anymore in the first place. Me not for them and they not for me, right? So I attracted other people into my life. And you're always going to attract the right people. When you are going in this Uranian vibe, you've got to be supported because the universe is going to give you what is in you. So it's very exciting. And that is the message that I want to spread here. I want to break free. Well, it's going to be very exciting, but know the consequences. Know the consequences that some people are going to say bye to you. And that can be hard, yes, but it's not a bad thing necessarily. It's not a bad thing that you don't see some people anymore that you used to see very often, but you're always going to see new ones, and it means, and thank them for what they meant in your life, and now it's a new phase. A new moon is a new beginning, but it also represents an ending first and foremost. So we will have to be that. I give that example of this cutting off, of an old situation to go into a brand new one that is absolutely the unknown. But we only step into the unknown when we feel safe. So I'm not suggesting to do this huge jump if you don't feel safe within you. Not at all. Then it's not your time. Okay? Actually, the more you feel uncomfortable with this energy, the better, because it shows that you want to break free. And something unusual if you were afraid of it, and this is the moment to get out of that comfort zone, for sure. But don't be those people who just are complaining about their old situation over and over again, and then are not willing to do something about it. It's like a pact that you were doing, a contract with yourself. Then the Uranus transits are the best, and the best of the best. My favorites. Why? Because they go very quick. Bam, and all of a sudden you're in a new world. So I can only recommend it, but it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone, right? So don't feel forced. This is something that's been brewing for a long time. And with this Uranus energy, we never know exactly where we're going to land. We're not supposed to know. We're not supposed to know. I never knew that when I would start a YouTube channel that I would do what I'm doing now, and that I would feel so free, and that I would love so much what I'm doing. I thought in some kind of way what the end result would be, but never as you expect. And it's even going to be better than you expected it. But there's a little but here. It reminds me of the song of Doja Cat. Anyway, it's a weird, this weird things. It's really Uranus that's slipping into this video here, but I love it. It's unconventional, and it's Doja Cat. Isn't she also, my goodness me, a very Iranian kind of personality? I don't know her chart, but anyway, I love her music. But what was I going to say here? Yes, the other thing that is going on after the day of the new moon is Mercury squaring to Jupiter. So that's why I'm saying it's like in the tarot card chart, it's the Tower and then the Temperance. It's a very strange combination, but that's my advice. So yes, go for that Tower, embrace that Tower moment, but also the feet on the ground, which is the Temperance, because Mercury square Jupiter tends to go a little bit over the top with our thoughts. Mercury is our thoughts, Jupiter is expansive, but this is just a couple of days after this new moon. Anyway, that's it. Let's jump into this. Don't resist the changes. See it as exciting. Yeah. Another thing that can help you is if you're going to resist this energy. If it's faded, I do believe in free will for sure, but I also do believe in fate that, sometimes things are as they have to go. And so also know that the destabilizing energy that we are going through here, and the unsettling energy, don't resist that, right? Because when you're going to resist it, it's going to give you anxiety. And you want to have excitement, not anxiousness, but excitement. And there's only a very small difference in the brain between excitement, being excited to do something, and being fearful of something. The only difference, think about it. The only difference is that with fear, it's a negative pattern of thinking, right? It's, oh, it's going to go blah, 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 if then else, and it's going to be all dark. But with the excitement, it's like, oh yeah, I don't know how it's going to end, but hey, I'm excited to do so. But you're going to do it anyway. Go for that excitement energy. Don't fall into the trap of thinking too much into the future, too much planning. Do be very much in the now. I can't stress that enough. When we have a lot of Uranian energy, ground yourself. Walk with your bare feet in the grass, drink lots of water, do some yoga, do some whatever grounds you. Have some good steak with French fries. Ground yourself so that you can go with the waves of the roller coaster Uranus. Anyway, let's just very quickly jump into the 12 signs where that area is, where you're going to feel all of this excitement to change. For Aries, it's the 11th house. It's the house of friends, so there could be new friends, development with friends. Friends could become definitely something more than a friend with this energy for sure. There's some unconventionality going on with friends. And some of them that you think are bad, use this energy to cut them off, right? Of course, not like, drastically, but just distance yourself, right? Don't call them anymore. Don't look at their Instagrams anymore. Just in that kind of way, you distance yourself. It could also be a totally new project, a totally new, fascinating project and goal that you're going to have. Very good. But remember, temperance. Taurians work. For a lot of you, this is new work. There is like shifts and things that are bubbling up for you that are connected to your career. You can make a totally new, independent career that everyone probably is going to say, but Taurus, what are you doing? Do it. If maybe one person is going to say, oh, yeah, but most of them are probably going to say, don't do it. Listen to your inner core. Listen to your inner core when it comes to jobs. So for you, it's definitely the career that can go like totally new career with Uranus in your sign. You're going to listen to yourself for sure. On another level, it's how you want to be seen in the world. It could also be a parent, a connection with a parent that shifts, right? Geminis, it's your 9th house. This is fantastic for you. It's very positive because it's a trine energy. So for Geminis, it's all about your mindset. There is a new mindset coming up for you, a totally new mindset coming up for you. It's going to be so freeing up. It's going to be so, your mindset and perspective is like totally growing. And that's a beautiful thing. And if you can travel, do travel. And so if you can start something new for learning or teaching or publishing, do it. And especially, it's going to be something out of the blue or something really that you've never done before. You could fall for someone from a foreign country as well. It's a lot of exciting energy. Cancerians is very deep for you. This is your a private sector, the 8th house that you're having this. So for you, it's about intimacy. There could be some new developments, especially also with this Mars and Veerle is still in Capricorn, your opposite sign. So this could be something bubbling up that is a bit of taboo with another person, with a relationship that you need to cut off, or a relationship that is a bit taboo. But it's like, again, this is no judgment here, but it's like you have to go through these deep things to know what intimacy and vulnerability and authenticity is all about. So try to be as true as you can to yourself before you if you are going to get involved into a relationship that is taboo, you will have the consequences here. So mind you that this is important. And but again, some of you will go through this, and especially with the square in Uranus to the 11th house, there's friendships involved as well. So it's a lot about your social sector, but also your inner world that is totally shifting. For others on a more mundane level, this is money. So there could be changes in loans or investments and some new developments that that you're going to do as well. Inheritances, tax returns, all of that. Leos, Leos. This is relationships, of course. So there could be a total, there could be breakups. Again, don't think, oh, Veerle said breakups, only when you feel that it has been for a long time and you really want it. Use this energy then to break up. It's going to be easier for you, but it could be also someone totally new, totally different from you. A very exciting relationship, but in a relationship where you need to have that space and where you need to have that, but of course also not too much space, because otherwise there is no relationship. So a lot about renewal in how you do connections and how you do relationships. Virgos, this is your house, the 6th house. This is happening in your lifestyle. There could be something because of what happens in your day-to-day life, which is related to work, health. There could be a drastic shift there happening that is helping you to renew your life, to renew your lifestyle, and it can be something that other people say, well, what kind of lifestyle is she doing at the moment, or is he doing at the moment? Go for it. Go for it. There's so much renewal happening here and possible for you, with a lot more excitement in the work area. If you struggle with some health issue, you could be doing something very Uranian Aquarian, which is, of course, do what you've got to do with the classical doctors and whatnot. I'm very much promoting always the complementary medicine, doing the classical thing, but also doing alternative things. So you could be going because you have some back problem or whatnot, and you could be doing some exercises, some chiropracticing, some acupuncture, you name it, something Uranian that is really going to help you out. But there's something about your day-to-day, your structure, and you do like structures, don't you, you dear Virgos? So there could be, because of something in your life that happens, drastically changing, but it's for the good. Remember, it can be destabilizing, but it's for the good. It's for the good, and it's for giving you more of freedom in your work and in your day-to-day life. That's the goal. Librans in your 5th house, you Librans, it's fantastic because you are an air sign. This is in a fellow air sign. The 5th house is the house of pleasure. It's the house of joy. It's the house of romance. There could be like an infatuation, like all of a sudden, boom, before you know it, you're married and you're pregnant. That kind of, I'm exaggerating, but that kind of energy. You could have been single for like 10 years and now you go out unexpectedly, boom, it all happens there. This is this energy. But even if it's not about romance, it's about enjoying yourself. Do something that you've never done before. Do some bungee jumping. Do something exciting that excites you. Whatever it is, do a hobby that you love and that you've always wanted to do, and or a business, starting your own business. The 5th house is your baby, or a baby, literally. So for Libra, it's very liberating. Play, the heart chakra. Absolutely wonderful. Scorpios, this is your 4th house. So for you, you're changing at the core. So for you, it can be a little bit of a shock there that you feel emotionally, you're going to cut off some people, or energetically, you're going to take your distance with relatives that are not supporting you anymore. The 4th house is also literally your home. You could be doing lots of renovations, or selling your home, buying a new home, all that kind of stuff. Or you could be doing something very Uranian at home. I remember when I was having Uranus in my 4th house, I started the astrology, right? So you were very busy, very, restless energy there for you, but exciting. And it's like you free yourself up, don't look for validation from a parent outside of you. Go within for sure. And it could also mean a relationship with a parent that is drastically changing. So of course, it's also your relationships, because this Uranus squares up in to the 7th house. So also for Scorpios, there will be a lot of relationship shifts happening towards, and Scorpios, they can wait a long time because they are very committed people. They can wait and wait and give it another go and give it another go and give it another go. But when a Scorpio is done, there's no way back, right? It's that kind of moment as well. Sagittarians, the 3rd house is more on a communicative level. So that could be coming in, first of all, it's the house of messages and emails and telephone calls. It could be very busy. And with this new moon, it could be a new piece of information unexpectedly coming into your life. Uranus in the 6th house of your day-to-day life. It comes into your life and it changes everything. So it could be that piece of information that that you were looking for such a long time, and now you're not thinking about it. And of course, it's typical, isn't it? You don't think about it, and there it is, that piece of information. And it's absolutely, if you have been thinking about it for lots of times, and if you are a Sagittarian that has a bit that analytical energy around you, and that thinking and overthinking, it's going to be something that you didn't think about. That's with Uranus, and that's with, so let yourself surprise, and it's a lot about expect the unexpected for sure. So I hope it's going to be good news for you. So, but whatever the news is, good or bad, it's going to free you up in a way, right? So that's good, isn't it? That's good for sure. It could also mean a new beginning, a new start, ending new beginnings with people like siblings, neighbors. There's like all of a sudden a 180 degrees of shift that is going on there. And that can be very liberating as well. Now, when you have your own website, you could just drop the website and start all over again with all of a sudden a very new website and renewal of some sorts. Or in the work, because Uranus is in your 6th house, there could be a lot of unusual energy coming in for you that is related to your work. If you have your own business and so on, it's a PR house, the 3rd house. So you could be doing lots of novelties there, things that you've never done before, things that are unusual for you, right? You don't have to listen to other people, what they say that is unusual. It's what is unusual for you. 3rd house is also a short trip. So you could be all of a sudden, out of the blue, going on a short trip, and it's going to be like life-changing for you, right? So Capricorns, this is your 2nd house. Of course, this is a money house, a value house. So there could be something happening all of a sudden that makes changes in your money. There could be a huge, let's hope it's a huge sum that comes in, right? And let's hope it's not going to be a huge sum that goes out to the 5th house, which is children, which is pleasure and leisure. So let's hope it's something that you know that is coming. But of course, with Uranus, it's a lot of unpredictability involved here. It could mean that, so if you want to buy something, use the temperance energy. You know, if it's something that you've been thinking on for a long, long time, and you know that it's good for you, and so on and so on. It's like with not many risks or calculated risks, then this could be one of those moments where you buy something that is very important for you. Maybe for your business, or maybe a car, or, you know, something that is costing quite some money. On another level, it's about your value, that you say, I have enough, I'm raising the bar. And all kind of things are shifting in your relationships because of that, right? You could also have a new relationship, an infatuation, a new relationship. Uranus in your 5th house. And it triggers your self-worth. It's like, what's going on here? What about, this person here? Oh my goodness, this person is fantastic. It's exciting. I need to work on myself to to go with them, and which is a good thing. You know, you can work on yourself and you can improve yourself and innovate and whatnot. And maybe because you attracted this new person, you want to go forwards in your life, right? For more realness in you, you're going to quit that 9-to-5 job and you're going to go for that job that you've always wanted. You know, all these kind of things can happen for you. Aquarians, of course, especially if you've got planets between 20 degrees of Aquarius, you know, 15 to 29 degrees of Aquarius, you will feel this very strongly. And the whole thing that I said in the beginning is applicable for you. So you are changing very drastically. You are changing your life path, right? That's everything. That's your job. That's people around you. So you're at this renewal, right? So you are and you represent that already. You are here. If you've got a planet in Aquarius, like the sun, the moon, the ascendant, you are here to innovate. You are here to show that other people that you have to, you know, that you're not mainstream, basically. And that you're going to do it your own way. But of course, also keeping in mind for the goodness of the collective. That's also very Aquarian kind of vibe there. So very beautiful for the Aquarians. A lot of Aquarians will shift relationships as well. Not only with themselves, of course, but because of that firstly and mostly because they shift so much from within. The outer world is going to shift as well. Pisces, the 12th house. So this is more a hidden house, an unconscious house. It's your house, though. So for you, that could be really those dreams that give you explanations. You could have very vivid dreams. You could have very restless nights, basically around the 9th of February. But that give you a lot of information from our outer world, under other worlds, other dimensions for sure. So put a notebook next to you when you sleep, because you could do a lot like in the astral world or whatnot. And it could give you ideas. It could give you definitely inspiration for sure, because this Uranus is in your third house of the mind and the communication. So it could be a bit of nervous energy there going on, yes, but ultimately it's there to wake you up, from your unconscious patterns that you didn't even know that were running you. And that is a liberation if you see a pattern of yourself now. That has been a blind spot for a long time. If you see that, that is like gold, isn't it? Also, relationships with siblings could shift now, and some new developments. Also, the third house is also neighbors, your neighborhoods, teammates, and so on. So there could be new developments there happening that are just fresher for you and better for you. So stick to that as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Keep on sharing, liking, commenting these videos, and I wish you the best of luck with this very, very interesting freeing up new moon. Bye-bye.